Greetings, folks, and welcome back to the channel. I am your host, Coco Smooth, the casual collector. And in this segment of 1/12 scale military action figures takes, I am showcasing the G.I. Joe classified retrocarded Sergeant Stalker. Now, Happy New Year's first and foremost, folks. This is going to be my first video of 2025, and I gotta tell you, I was dreading to do this video in general. A lot of it is because I have ever had a figure where you just had you dreaded to do a review and own. This is it. First and foremost, because as much as I love nostalgia, I can see where nostalgia might not be a good idea. I was like looking at this figure with a different set of lenses, and I'm like, okay, perhaps the 80s design is not as good. You know, at least as far as the colors go. Now, to be fair, I think most of where my heartache came from. Well, let's first and foremost, before I do all that, I'll get into that soon enough. Here is what he looks like in the package, and the artwork is fine. It's good. It looks great. Um, Packaging is, as you already know, right? Let's read his profile real quick. One thing I love about these retro carded ones is that the other ones didn't show the so now we can say Wilkins Lonzo R. Role Ranger primary specialty infantry, secondary specialty medic interpreter from Detroit, Michigan. Um, Generals may win campaigns, but is the sergeants who win the battles, mostly by yelling and kicking butt. Functions well under high stress situations, intelligent, perceptive, moves like some sort of jungle cat, silent, fast, and strong. Now, he's supposed to be the very first, I believe, Joe. Um, if I remember correctly. He's number one, and Snake Eyes is number two. So he holds a very special place in the original of the OG 13, right? But man, I gotta say that his uniform is a little too loud. I know it's the way it was done back then, but man, it is loud. Okay, so let's get back to why I was having such a hard time wanting to do this um review, why I dreaded owning this thing. First and foremost, they went with the old man head instead of the younger head. They should have given this guy a brand new head sculpt. This was not cool. Not that it's a bad head sculpt, but if they gave Duke a head sculpt, a brand new one, they could have done, young Stalker here, the younger head. To me, it's more appropriate that they gave him the older head with the classified fig, which makes sense because he looks grizzled there. I don't know if he should look so grizzled in his youth. You know what I mean? It just doesn't add up to me, right? So next up, the other reason why I had such a heartburn about this, man, no one in the army wears this two-tone camouflage beret. They should have stuck with either the dark color or the light green, one of the two, but nobody does a camo beret in the army, and this is just a bitter pill to swallow. And bro, now I'm only finding out that it's kind of loose on his head. Holy yeesh. All right, well, at least it don't, to this credit, at least it don't fall, if it's not tight. All right. yeah, that's kind of one of my headaches on this. The exact buck missing the shamag comes with the same exact accessories as the OG classified. Can't complain about that. Great accessories for um, Sergeant Stalker. Hang on. I'm going to give you guys a better view on accessories and things because I've been criticized for just going through these things a little too fast, maybe. I didn't think you guys would want to sit here long enough to actually see these things too long, but hey, you know what? I'm gonna go with what my viewers want. All right. If y'all demand this, I'll do it. All right. Here you go. Next, this sidearm of some sort. Same one. It looks like the mag is fixed. It doesn't go. It can't. It doesn't go anywhere. But the silencer is definitely silencer. Flash suppressant is definitely removable. And the great news is you can put it in this holster quite like the way you do in the last with the last stalker. This is essentially the same figure, just different paint job, but different hands. And I'm going to get to that next. Um, maybe I should heat this up so that it's easier to put the flash suppressor into his holster, which I'll do right now actually. All right, I was able to heat it up so that it could go in easily, less resistance, right? And yeah, you could put this in here, right? um, yep, I might have to heat this bad boy up too because it's not cooperating, too cold for it. All right, I was able to put it in after putting a little heat onto this bad boy. You know, without the heat, this thing kind of hard to put on. Now, I gotta say, I'm struggling a little bit to insert this bad boy in here. There you go. Just trying to get it through this hole too at the same time. It was like, oh, give me a hard time a little bit. Yeah. And then of course his knife. Kind of on the plain side, but hey, it's not too bad. Just as you can see, it is hard to put in the holster or the Kydex sheath. My bad. And one last but not least of the accessories, his kind of possible modified saw of some kind. It's close to an M250, which is the current Army issued squad automatic weapon. Yeah, I think, yeah, yeah, the mag comes out, which is cool. And yeah, you can put it back on. Now, the one thing that I'm going to give this credit for, which is cool, is that the hands are definitely better on this than they are on the classified Sergeant Stalker. Those bad hands, bad buck hands, they are terrible at gripping. This looks like it's much better, even though I'm not being able to demonstrate how, the ease in this, but at least it does, and it does hold better. Yeah. I think they may have used Doc's hands. I'm not confident, but we'll find out. Let's bring Doc. Yeah, looks like it's Doc's hands. Yep, which is why it works better than the last one. Cool. Yeah, and now his beret is starting to become a little bit of a problem, just kind of getting out. Um, I'm thinking that because of the mold, it's, the joints on these things are a little bit looser than the original uh, classified one. Yeah, joints are definitely much more. Well, it's not super stiff, which is good, but it's not super loose either. So it's pleasant to not have to be met with that much resistance, yet not being super loose either. And it's not loose; it's just more cooperative, if there's a word for that, right? Yeah, really cool. Yeah. So yeah, just it's just this color scheme that's really throwing me the hell off. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, what is this? Bro, I just don't see somebody like Stalker going full lime green. You know what I'm saying? Again, I don't know. This is probably where nostalgia goes wrong. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion, right? I think the oh boy, the OG buck makes more classified bucks makes more sense to me. Now, this is what it looks like in comparison, right? This Shimag makes him look more modern, warfare-ish, kind of cool. Even the gloved hands look great, but they're not as functional as these hands. So, and yeah, it was a lot easier, as you can see, for me to sheath the blade on this one than this one. Maybe I got there's even if you look at it together. Now that I show it, it's got a. Hang on, let me bring it together a little bit so you can see that. This guy's like a weird kind of bend to it. This one's a lot more straight. Yeah, I don't know, dude. That was so inaccurate. That post should not have been done like that. But I was trying to compare and contrast. You know, let's see. Here we go. So yeah, um, essentially the same again. The same fig minus the hands, and yeah, look, the grizzled look on the face makes more sense. Yeah, they gave him a darker hue for a head on this one, and it makes sense because it'll at least match the hands. Um, yeah, I think that I like this figure more just because it's more subdued, closer to being realistic. Now, I think I would have went with these boots on this though, but overall, I can't complain. This is a nice stealthy kind of look. But that's just me, because nobody really wears that color boots. But again, it's just a toy and it's GI Joe. It's military fantasy. So I don't know. Yeah, this is a weird blend. I can't really seem to put my finger on it, but it's just too weird, too odd of a combination of colors for me. I'd say, you know, it comes with a stand that I don't really not gonna use because this guy's gonna get his dynamic uh, pose in. Now, I'm gonna definitely have him hang out with his brother, uh, Snake Eyes, Retrocarded Snake Eyes, which is easily the best gosh dang fig there is. And the irony is that it's really the same exact fig as him, just a different head and different um, uh, paint and different, slightly different accessories and hands. Um, yeah, these guys are. It's funny how they're the same exact fig, but I have different reactions based on the paint scheme and accessories, right? So yeah. Final thoughts on our guy Sergeant Stalker. All I can say is when nostalgia might not be the best thing, and if you take too much creative liberties instead of going with stuff, going full whatever the heck. I don't know what they were doing with the beret. Uh, it could be a bad look. But overall, um, if you're into the too much of the throwback look, this is a perfect situation. Well, near perfect situation, short of the gosh dang, you know, thing. And of course, for me, my bigger gripe would have to be they could have went with a younger face, something that more resembles that than what we got. Um, yeah, this face is much more young and friendly, even with that look, right? So, all right, folks, that's all I got for this segment of One to Scale Military Action Figures Take the Jejo Classified Retro Carded Sergeant Stalker. I am your host, Coco Smooth, and until the next video, folks, ciao.